Hi, my name's Laura Batante, and this is my YouTube channel, My Two Bits. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to make this really fun hanging spider. He's super easy to make. I didn't include a template on my website for this guy simply because he's that easy. So let's get started. All you need is one sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Clearly this isn't a full sheet anymore because I've cut it into 1/2 inch strips. You'll need 7. So that's 7 strips of 1/2 inch by 11. And so we're going to need some paper clips, googly eyes, and a glue stick. And that is it. So to get started, we're going to make the head first. And we're just going to wrap it around our finger. So you will get a little bit gluey, but that's part of the fun of crafting. So a little glue on one end. We're going to hold it in our hand like so. Wrap it around our finger. So we want to make the head small and his bottom a little bit bigger. And you don't have to be super precise in the size. Just do whatever works for you, because I always end up kind of cutting off a chunk here or there. So I think I've made about I've had some video problems. I've made about 8 of these, well, in varying degrees, because there's a lot of dry time. I will tell you that you do sort of have to be a little bit patient with the drying, because if you try to stick everything together at the end and it's not dry, it can be a bit frustrating. Okay, so you see I have a little tail piece left there. That's fine. We'll just cut that off when it's dry. This is what the paper clips are for. I just put them on, set it aside, and let it dry. All right, so the next thing we need to do is make the legs. So we're going to take 2 of the pieces that we have, fold them in half together like so, and then pull apart, and we're just going to put some glue right in here so that they stay attached. And we're going to do that with this set and then one other set, and put those aside and let those dry. Just like that. All right, once we have our 2 legs done, we're just going to work on the body. And it's exactly the same as the head, except we're going to end up using 2 strips just to make it a little bit bigger. So I start with a bigger circle and then wrap around from there. Okay. There we go. And what we're going to do is, because we're not going to get it big enough with this little piece, we'll cut that off and add some more glue, and then put another piece on. And that is exactly all there is to it. I'm a little bit messy here because I'm rushing a little bit. But you don't see it. That's the beauty of that. If you get a little glue somewhere, you're not going to see it because this is the way he hangs. So there's our body. And like I said, we have to let everything dry. So this is the point where we have to really be patient, take a break, and let all of our pieces dry. Because when we try to put the legs on, we are kind of pushing at it a bit. And so we want to be really careful. So just take a little break and then come back and watch the rest of the video. All right, so hopefully we've let our pieces dry, and we're just gonna, cut off the extra bits, and then we're going to glue these together. So I just like to put some glue on both sides and attach those together. And when we get that done, I'm gonna hold them for a jiff, and then I'm gonna put a paper clip on. While we are waiting for our body and our head to dry, we are going to make some antenna, or whatever you call the little bit up at the front there. And so I just used a scrap from one of the, I think from making the body, and then I'm just bending it kind of woggly. I don't really have a pattern in mind, but I left myself this little flat surface in the middle there, and then I'm just going to put some glue on there and attach that and let that dry while the body is drying. And again, we can paper clip it if we need to. There. All right. So I have to put that aside and let it dry. Okay, so we're at the final stages. We're just going to put the legs on. And for this, we're going to put glue on both sides here. And then we're going to stick it in there. And I mean, it's good if you can hold it for a bit. Otherwise, you can stick your paper clip on. I'll put the paper clip on now just because I'm going to do the other side too. Okay, and the last set of legs, stick that in. So you could see where if this wasn't dry, jamming legs in there might be a bit of a problem. Again, this is one of those stages where we're going to have to stop and let it dry again, but we're almost there. We could actually, while we're waiting, we could attach the googly eyes. Now, what I did was I used really large eyes, and I did that so that there would be at least 2 parts of the paper for it to attach to. If I used a little googly eye, it would, would fall down in there. So if you don't have really big googly eyes, what you could do is, actually I'm going to use that size. What you could do is glue some onto black cardstock and leave yourself a little room around the black cardstock and then attach that. Or if you don't have googly eyes at all, just make some. You can use white cardstock, or you could give them, spooky red eyes, whatever you like. That's what's so great about doing crafts, is that you can really let your imagination run wild. So there we go, a little glue on there, and that should stick. I haven't had any problems yet. All right, and we're just going to wait for this to dry, and then we're going to bend the legs, poke a hole in the top here so that we can hang it, and he's done. Okay, so the last thing to do is bend the legs. And what I like to do is start with the inner legs, and I'm going to just maybe about 2 inches out, put a bend, and then a little bit further out on the top leg bend. That way that they're not like kind of connecting, if you know what I mean. So I did it very random, and paper is so forgiving that if you do one and you don't like where you bent it, you can just rebend it. Okay, and then for this one, this leg will end up being the slightly longer one because it's on top, and this one will be slightly shorter. And there you go. And I think the fact that they're kind of all, wiggly woggly makes it kind of fun. And once you get this done, you are finished, and all you have to do is poke a hole. I just use a thumbtack. Poke a hole up at the top there, and then string in some. See, I didn't love that bend right there, so I made a new bend. It's fine. That's part of the charm. There we go. Make this guy a little bit shorter. There we go. And he hangs like that. Oops, give this guy a little extra bend. There we go. He looks awesome. Have fun with this craft. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, consider giving me a like or subscribing to my channel. Thank you.